Hi, welcome to this conversation exploring the different qualities between tantric sex and physical sex. And here I just wish to add there's a sincerity in not wanting to make either right or wrong. They are simply different flavors of what we can experience. We are very good at physical sex, but maybe our focus has become too intense on the physical sex, too intense on the penetration to ejaculation or to orgasm. So we're very expectant. We have a goal, we're goal orientated, and there's an expectation. We're also goal orientated in that there is a performance and various positions. So we're not making either of these wrong or right. We're saying we know this and we can open ourselves up to what else is available to us and bring a beingness into our relationships of sex. In this conversation, I would like to explore with you the peaks and valleys of tantric sex. When I was in meditation this morning, it really came to me that it's very much known as the peaks and valleys, the yin and the yang of sex. But to experience it's a very timeless journey. In many people's opinions of tantric sex, it means great sex and that sex lasts for hours. And it can be an invitation to be with another for timelessness, not time in hours. It's not a quick functional release, it's a timelessness. We can be with another without measuring time. Tantric sex is not about doing, it's about being. And I'm hoping that from these conversations there is beginning to be an understanding about that we know the physical, but is there a being in the physical? Is there a sexual being in the physical? Have you met yourself as a sexual being? And can you bring that sexual being to be present with another and to relate in that silent language with another? Peaks and valleys, yin and yang mean exactly that there is a time of yang, there's a time of action, but also there's a time of valley, of yin, of that action has built to an intense place, and rather than going up to a peak where the masculine, the man, normally ejaculates, you dip just before that ejaculation. So all that energy that's been bubbling away and expanding and moving in this delicious, yummy ways can then rest into yin, into valley. And here you just feel these symphony of sensations running through you, and it can expand your capacity for pleasure. If you think, if we only go to a peak and ejaculate or have an orgasm, that's the extent of sex and pleasure that we're ever going to know. But if we can pull back a little bit from that and come into a yin space, it's like growing a muscle, because our capacity for pleasure and love and sex suddenly moves a little bit in the yin. And then we will go into action again, and it'll bubble away and move and be delicious, and then rest into yin. So peaks and valleys, yang and yin, yang and yin. And this is tantric sex. It's not making a goal, it's not having an expectation, it's playing in activities and then resting to see what that's created within yourself, but also together. So you don't just grow within yourself and elevate as a sexual being, and also as a conscious being, but you also do when you're with another. This happens with another. You're elevating your relationship. You're meeting each other in a very conscious and aligned and present way, and supporting each other's evolution. And this is the beauty of it. It's beautiful, it's pleasurable, it's nourishing, it's rich, and it's feeding ourselves and each other on such a level that nothing else, be that, you know, learning all the positions you can, and, you know, multiple orgasms. This touches something else. It really does open up something else when we can move into this timeless journey. So it's really important to carve that time where you can explore this with a lover, where you're not heading for an expectation or a goal. And also non-friction sex, it is also just about being together and maybe moving energies together rather than physical together. Tantric sex is not about doing. It really isn't. It's about being. And so, you know, people I've shared with and people I've worked with, I worked with a 32, they looked 32, 72-year-old couple, that there was no moving, and they beautifully called it plugging in, and he was inside her and they would just be together and breathe together, and their relationship, they would do this every morning, and their relationship was in such harmony, because they were so attuned. And even when they were in very separate places in their day, they were still very much moving as a relationship, as a union. And it was just so beautiful to observe what they'd created as non-friction sex. So peaks and valleys, yin and yang, is a timeless journey. And often our physical sex, we are squeezing it in to our day, and we are rushing also to get to something, to get to ejaculation, to get to orgasm, to get pleasure, to get this. We have a get-in, rather than just playing together in a timeless journey.